that I was watching to come on here and talk about something with you guys. Well, just to get something off my chest, basically. So, and I'm gonna re-go over this because there's nobody in here right now. But my thing is, so I was at these apartments and it happened in my last live stream. So my thing is, okay, if you have a child under a certain age, but still in those single digits, why on earth are you letting this constantly letting this child, this little girl that's 5, go out and play in a parking lot, in the apartment's parking lot, with no supervision, just because there are other kids out there? She don't know none of the other parents around here. This could be just because that's how I was raised. But my thing is, when this little girl came up missing, you couldn't find her. You had everybody out there looking for her. I'm like, but if you keep in touch with your child, everybody would not have to be out helping you look for your child. The whole thing about being a parent comes with, and I don't even have any kids yet, but the whole thing with being a parent, you're responsible for, from what I thought and what I've been told and how my parents raised me, you're responsible for your own child. It comes with responsibilities being a parent. You're not supposed to just have a child and just let them free roam anywhere. Anything can happen. As in this case, the little girl went, I don't even know if they even found her yet. But the little girl went somewhere. It was on, last time I saw her, she was riding on the back of a bike with another kid or something, with an older kid. That's what happened. Oh, excuse me. That's what happened when the parent doesn't care, or inactive in their life, or not watching their child and being lazy, or just don't care. Like, that is just wild. Like, how can you just let a 5-year-old just go anywhere they want? And if you sit in the apartments long enough, you can see that same 5-year-old girl going around the backside of the apartment. She's just all over the fucking apartments. I'm like, why? There's nobody. I've said many a times before, I've seen this little girl. Why is somebody watching her? Why do people just let this little girl just wander off? Like, y'all not care. And I said then, when she come up missing, everybody's gonna act like they care then. You're out there screaming trying to find her. You wouldn't be screaming trying to find her if you kept somebody kept their eye on her. Hi to the people that are in here. If you agree, let me know in the comment section. Thank you to the person who liked this. But yeah, this is just the way I was raised, and this is just my opinion. Like, how can you let a 5? When I first saw her, I'm like, why is this little girl way on the other side of the apartments? And there's a freeway right there. There's two businesses in front. One's a corner store. God knows what kind of type of people stop at a corner store. Like, what anybody got on their mind? And you never know these type of people. You don't even know your neighbors that well. There's a restaurant up here. That's the other business. Anybody could be in that restaurant parking lot with devious thoughts and cruel intentions and evil intentions and unsavory intentions. Why on earth would you want to be? Why on earth would you let a 5-year-old just free roam around the apartment complex? And like I said, there's no gates around this apartment. God forbid anything happened to this little girl. And I hope they found, like I said, I hope they found her. Because that's crazy. I mean, that could be just me. And this is just my opinion on how I was raised. Because I grew up in the Amber Hackerman days. If you don't know what happened to Amber Hackerman story, go Google it. Why are you here? Why are you here? If you don't like it, you don't have to watch my live. That was uncalled for, Marshmallow Clips. If you don't like somebody's live, don't come in and comment. There's no comment. Your comment is not necessary. You don't have to say anything. Again, don't waste your breath just to tell somebody you don't like them or tell them to shut up in this instant. That's a waste of time, but thank you for your view, though. But yeah, my whole thing is, I don't know. That's just because of all the things that were happening in the 90s with all the kids coming up missing. And just because there's decades later and things have improved, technology that goes towards finding kids have been, new things have been invented, new ways of finding people's kids. Hi, Luke, how are you? The only reason why we have the Amber Alert is because of Amber Hagerman. But yeah, why would, I don't know. But that was back in my day when I grew up. How was you? I'm good. I'm glad you're good. How was your day? But yeah, I just want to get that off my chest. I just want to talk about that. Like, people got to start being more careful and more aware nowadays, because just because it's 2025 and not 1995, that doesn't mean things have changed. That doesn't mean there's no more people with evil intentions or sinister intentions. There's still those kind of people out there. You can't trust everybody. My day was okay. Hi, Ruth. How are you? I want to call you Miss Ruth. But how are you, Ruth? I'm just going by your profile name. How was your day? Hopefully you had a great day. But yeah, you have to be careful nowadays. You have to be aware. Like, one of my exes taught me, you have to be aware to be alive. And that's the one thing I did take from my ex. That he did teach me. One of the good things he did teach me. Like, you have to be aware to be alive, because anything can happen in the blink of an eye too. I'm glad you had a good day. Thank you for being here, you and Luke. I really appreciate y'all being here and commenting. But it's just, I would rather, and then there's other people in my family that will have their children and pawn their children off on other people just so they can go out and have fun. Your child is not everybody else's responsibility or other family members' responsibility. That's your child. You're responsible for your own child. Now, if I volunteer to babysit or to watch your child for you while you go to work or something or whatever have you, okay then, but that's no excuse for you to keep constantly pawning your child off of me because you feel like I can't say no, or I'm not obligated to say no, or I have to watch your child because of our friendship or relationship. No, that's not how it works. That is not how it works. You're gonna have to find somebody else. Or just, I don't know, be a better parent. Because I know, like I said, I know somebody like that. I have a family member that's like that. That's like, they used to like to pawn their child off on somebody. Now their child was an adult. And you have that person that's like, that child done grew up and was like, I couldn't do that to my kids. I'm doing what I've been put through as a child. That child, so when she was younger, she used to spend more time at a relative's house than she did at her own house. Like, she spent more time sleeping over at relatives' house on their mattresses and couches and on making pallets on the floors and everything just to sleep on. Because she was more at other people's house than she was in her own bed. I'm like, that is crazy. You have your own bed and everything at home, but you're more at other people's houses than you are at your own house. Like, your child, and I asked my husband, we were just randomly talking, I'm like, so what is the point of people having kids if they're going to constantly pawn their kids off on other people so they can go live their lives? Your life changed when you decided to have children, or when you had a child. Your life doesn't revolve just around you anymore. It revolves around your child. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's just how I feel. This is just my opinion. Everybody's not going to agree. Everybody's not going to see it from my point of view. Everybody's going to have their own way, their own opinions about it and how they feel about it. But this is just how I feel. Like, and that makes no sense to me, because this is my opinion, because I went through it with a loved one, with a family member before. When I was growing up, I used to sit, because me and this person were really close relatives, and their child is one of my cousins. And I'm like, I used to grow, we're not that far in age, but we're like 11 years apart. I'm 11 years older. I'm like, I used to sit and growing up, like, why is it from the time she was a baby, she'll get pawned off on her aunt. She'll get pawned off, like, here, can you watch that shit every week, every day? I'm like, you don't think this baby deserved to be at her house, in her bed, sleeping in her bed at least once or twice? Like, why does your child have to be everybody else's responsibility? Like, if she used to go outside and play, whoever else outside had to watch her because her parent didn't watch her. Like, that don't make no sense. That's not every other kid's responsibility to. That's not another child's responsibility to watch somebody else's child or watch a child. Period. Be responsible for your own kid. Like my grandma always told me, you lay down and made that child, you gotta stand up and raise that child. That's what she used to always tell me. She was like, when you have kids, those are your responsibilities. Ooh, excuse me. You lay down and made the child, you take care of it. My grandma would tell me, that child is not everybody's responsibility. Everybody didn't make that baby. You did. She had multiple ways of telling me. And I'm like, yes, ma'am, I know. Now, looking back, I'm older. I'm like, dang, I see it now. Like, it's crazy how people can just do that. Like, they just free and willingly pawn their kids off on anybody in the family or anybody. And where I used to live, we used to have this one couple that their neighbor moved next to them, and they automatically start trusting that person with their child. You don't know this person from a can of paint. They're sitting there, you could hear them. When they just met, you can hear them talking, nice to meet you. This might basically confirming that they didn't know this person before then. So you mean to tell me you trust your precious child with somebody you just met, letting this person go pick up your child from school and putting them on the list? Because I'm guarantee you I don't know if they still do, but you have to have a list of approved people at the school in the front office who's approved to come pick up your child. Here a cat. Hey, kitty. That cat kept walking. But yeah, you have to have, I know back when I was going to school, you had to have a list of approved people who can pick up and drop off your child. You used to couldn't just once you had that list already placed and filled out and gave to the front office, you can't go and ask some strange person without them investigating. They should do that even more now. Like, who is this random person you randomly add into the list to come pick up your child? Like, what? But, I mean, hey, it's gonna forever be a lot of missing children. Well, I hope it don't. I hope it doesn't. But as long as there's people who, let me put it this way, as long as there's people who will trust any and everybody, as long as there's people who pawn their kids off on everybody and don't care, or as long as there's people who let their kids just free roam anywhere, put two and two together. All I can do is pray for that child and hope that they stay safe and they stay somewhere that they could easily be watched and protected, because I don't know. And that's all I want to say about that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you those of you who left comments, those of you who left positive comments or good comments, or even just not even nice comments. Thank you to those who didn't go out of your way to leave evil, mean comments. I really appreciate y'all. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a blessed night. Good night. Bye, guys.